back to where we left off. So we left off, we said that these two angles are called alternate angles. A-L-T-E-R-N-A-T-E. Alternate angles. They're called alternate angles. And alternate angles are equal. Just a reminder, how did I demonstrate that they were equal? This angle, so imagine that was a parallel line and that was a parallel line. That's the transversal. If I should take this angle here and try to see if it can fit onto that angle, so if I should go like that, I will see that it fits exactly on. So they are the same size. So alternate angles are equal. Now, I could also get a pair of alternate angles by coming over this side. I'm going to call that B, and over this side, I'm going to call that B. Here we have another pair of alternate angles. A letter that we can use to visualize alternate angles is the letter Z. So again, if I should pick that out, I will have this being A, which is my A. And again, remember that these two lines here would have to be parallel. Those would have to be parallel lines. So that would be my A, and over here would be my A again, which would match that, and which would match that. I could also look at the other one by looking at that one. This would be B, which would be B here, and that would be B, which would be B here. Bear in mind that these two, there must be the parallel lines. So this must be the parallel lines. These lines here must be the parallel lines. Okay, so they must be running in the same direction. Okay, so these lines are parallel. Parallel lines, remember, are lines that are running in the same direction, but they're equal distance apart and they never meet. So here, those are what we call parallel lines. And again, alternate angles, we identify them or we visualize them by looking for the letter Z. That angle and that angle is the same. That angle and that angle is the same thing. What's the difference between alternate angles and parallel and corresponding angles? With corresponding angles, going back to what we said, corresponding angles, the angles are on the same side in the same position. So if that was above the line, that would have been above the line for corresponding. The difference with alternate angles is that they're not on the same side. They're on alternate sides, or you could just say they're on opposite sides. They're not on the same side, and they're not in the same position. Because if you notice, that is below the line and that is above the line. So here we looked at corresponding angles, and this one we've just looked at alternate angles. Okay. Now, let us look at some questions involving the tool that we have just done. Here, if I tell you that that's 35 degrees, and I tell you that that's X, and I ask you to find the value of X. First thing you notice, you should look, are these lines parallel? If these lines are parallel and we have a transversal cutting it, then we know we're going to be looking for, so far from what we have discussed, we're going to be looking for corresponding angles, and we're going to be looking for alternate angles. Now, corresponding angles must be on the same side. So straight away we know they're on the same side. This and this, that's above the line, that's above the line. They are equal. We do not need to do any calculations because they are equal. So X is equal to 35, and you will be asked for your reason. Remember, you cannot say because it forms an F. You have to say because, using the proper word, because it is corresponding angles. Or you can say corresponding angles are equal. All right, we should go to another one. And again, I want you to assume that these are equal distance apart they're parallel, they're straight. If I should draw my line there, and this time I'm going to ask you for this angle and that angle. If this is 45, I want you to find that. Now, if this is 45, that's going to be 45 as well, because that's below the line, and that's below the line, they're corresponding angles. So X, let's call this one Y. Mathematicians like to use X and Y. So Y is equal to 45 degrees because they are corresponding angles.